Hey everyone, it's Bill with St. Pierre Woodworking. This week we're doing a couple desks. We're building 2 desks for some clients of ours that we've been working with for years. They have 2 new employees come in and have called and ordered 2 more desks. I go down, I meet with them, get the sizes of the desks they want, and they pretty much just let me do what I want, whatever I want to create. So here we're going to do a walnut desk, and we're also doing a cherry and walnut desk. So get the material out of the rack. These are some logs that we cut about 1.5 years ago, some walnut that we had in stock, and getting everything cut to size. I'm just kind of winging this one. I'm just kind of going to start cutting it, putting it together, seeing how I like the different moldings and different types of trim, and really wasn't quite sure 100% how I wanted this to look. But once I get going, it starts to come to me. So here I'm just making some different types of moldings on the router. I like to cut the moldings on a wider piece and then rip them down and so on. So getting everything kind of cut to size here and putting the trim in the walnut and cherry desk, making sure everything fits, and then we'll start applying it. I am finishing all 4 sides of this desk, even though this desk will be going against 2 walls, just in case they ever decided to move it or use it somewhere else. Michael's working on the drawer faces here. We got the whole crew working on this job. I've got me working on trying to get everything up and going. Then the guys can kind of follow in my footsteps and take everything to the finished product. So Michael's got the drawers glued up. Next day, we're going to go ahead and run them through the sander here, get everything sanded down to 120, and then it'll be a finished sander doing the rest. But I'm just getting all these little pieces that I made for trim sanded down. Needed a couple more pieces, ripping those out of the walnut. I'm making this mural on the front of one of the desks because I'm actually going to put their logo in this one because it faces like the main work area. So I thought it'd be cool to do sort of like a picture frame with some thicker wood, thinner wood, thicker wood, and then we'll carve the piece that goes right in the center. Drew starts working on the drawer boxes. I don't like going cheap on drawer boxes. I don't care what we're building, whether it's a kitchen or anything. The secondary wood for the drawer boxes is always either cherry or maple or something nice because we like to dovetail it. And if you're dovetailing something, you might as well put a little bit more effort into it and use a good material. So here, Drew's just getting all the dovetails done. No, they're not hand dovetails. We can do hand dovetails, but in this case, when we get this many drawers, it's just as easy just to use the dovetail machine. Drew's getting everything put together here. He'll let them sit overnight as well. We'll come back tomorrow and get all those sanded up and sprayed. So everything's working like a well-oiled machine here. We're basically got the drawers going, the drawer fronts going, and then it was actually time for Michael to start working on the tops. So we did have some walnut slabs in stock that I really wanted to use, but they didn't want to use a live edge slab on this one. So we were kind of going back and forth if we should just use 2-inch boards that we had in stock or actually grab some slabs out of the rack. So we grabbed some slabs out of the rack, cut the live edge off, which I hate to do, but in this case it was needed. We had 2 of these beautiful slabs that had some really nice flame in them. Got them cut, got them on the wood whiz, and we only need to wood whiz one side. We're making one side perfectly flat, and then we'll bring it up and run it through the planer. So we'll go ahead and run it through the planer, get it down to the thickness that I wanted. These are some pretty thick slabs, so we're actually bringing it down to about 1 5/8 was the finished look I wanted. So they had a ways to go on the planer, but with this Woodmaster 25-inch planer, it just makes it pretty easy. So getting the tops glued up, getting everything ready to pass on to Dan back there in the sanding booth, and we'll let these tops set overnight and come back to him tomorrow. I was trying to get this job done in about 7 days. So we were really trying to everybody work together and get it done. Here we're just taking the CNC machine and just cleaning up the letters. I did take the dust chute off this machine so we could see the router bit working. And we'll run it twice. We'll actually carve it out and then I'll run the machine back through to just go ahead and just kind of get everything kind of cleaned up in there and make it nice and crisp. I'm burning the paint, which people don't, I'm not making it dry faster. I just like to make it kind of baked in there and makes this paint soak into the wood a little bit and gives it a more vibrant look when I sand off the overspray. So this cherry slab had a stain in it from a nail that was in the tree. But when the piece is all finished, and you'll see it when it's finished, it had this black streak in the bottom, but it kind of looks like the walnut is just bleeding up into that piece of cherry there in the left bottom corner. It's kind of neat, and it looked really nice when the finish was put on it. We're using undermount slides only because we like to show off the dovetails, and they work a whole lot better with the soft close and everything. So we were just getting everything put together, getting the drawer faces on, making sure everything lines up perfectly. And remember, you got to do this in a way where even though the drawer faces are lined up at the cabinet, but when you pull those drawers out, you don't want the drawer faces to hit. So we'll actually apply the faces when the drawer faces are out. That way there, when people, if someone was to happen to open all 3 drawers, they're not hitting when they're pulled out. We're getting all that done. Now it's time for the booth. And this is everybody's favorite time, putting the finish on it. So we're putting 2 coats of lacquer on it. I did use the cherry piece for their logo. I just thought that was going to stand out nice, and I thought that'd be cool. So getting it sprayed up, start putting the hardware on, got it all marked out. I don't like going cheap on hardware. I don't like going to Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever and just getting the same old hardware. When you put this kind of work into a piece of furniture, I like to go a little bit different on the hardware and get something, just something that not everybody has. We get to their office building, start unloading everything and bringing it up to the 2nd floor, which is a little bit of a bummer, but we're still able to do it, and we carry everything up, and then it's time to start assembling everything. Like I said, all these pieces of furniture you see in this office are stuff that I've built over the last 7 years, and there's a lot of furniture in here, and it's kind of nice for me to walk through and peek my head in all the offices and see all the stuff that I've done. These are great people, and I really enjoy working for them. So we're just getting the tops put down, getting the drawers in, making sure everything's square and clean, putting this top with the 2 pieces of flame in it, putting it together. We do have fasteners once we put those together that will actually suck those 2 pieces together and keep them together. Yes, I could have done a 45 in that corner, but I like to just butt them up like that because the corners or the slabs are actually 2 different sizes. So I always think it looks a little better just butting them up. But the cherry had some defects in it. We had to fill it with some black epoxy, which I think looks great. It matches well with the black hardware. Got everything done. We had a few more pieces of trim to put on the bottom of that one there, but we were getting ready to go, and love that Focus One sign, and everything came out great. But here are a few other things that we've done over the years. These are the cubicles. There's actually 3 of them. Some round tables we did for them. All the offices, storage units, and really, really happy with the way this one came out. And just look forward to doing more work for these guys. Really cool stuff. So hope you liked it, and we'll catch you on the next video. If you thought this was a cool project, check out this hanging slab we made.